Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's sharing of Harmonize, 2Energize. And it's my great pleasure to be sharing today with none other than the, you could say, the animal priestess. I don't know whether that's appropriate or not. But Adele, welcome Adele. Welcome Adele Leas. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to switch to chat here so I can actually see. Oh, yes. Susan from Munich and Nancy from Newborough. Yes, it's been a little bit of a break for me, and I trust you've all enjoyed the previous two meetups with Ale. I think you covered Safety Energy Lock 14 and 15. Well, today, between Adele and myself, I would say 80% Adele, 20% me, we're going to cover Safety Energy Lock 16. So those of you that have your self-help books, you can turn to whatever page it is, because I can't remember. It's Safety Energy Lock 16. And I will just kick off by reading a little bit from the Tarot by our good friend Paul Foster Case. As most of you know, Mary used to reference his teachings with some of her descriptions of Safety Energy Lock 16. So Paul Foster Case is describing...
43, by the way? Page 43.
Page what?
Page 43.
Oh, yeah, page 43. There you are. There you are. Thank you. Someone's efficient. The Tarot card for Safety Energy Lock 16 is the Tower, and it looks kind of scary with people falling out of it and thunder and lightning and this, that, and the other. It's like a representative of active, it says here, or exciting intelligence. It stirs up activity, sets things going, produces changes, and effects transformations. Well, Mary would say, looking at what she describes in Self-Help Book 2, it breaks down existing forms in order to make room for new ones. Well, that's basically what you have to do to transform, yeah? You have to break down existing forms and transform them to something new. So without further ado, that's my bit. I'm just going to hand you over to Adele and her sweet crew of animals. Here we go.
Hi there. Welcome. I'm really touched and happy that Terry invited me here, and just a little apprehensive of the slides. So let's see how that goes. Safety Energy Lock 16. Just like Terry said, breaking down the old, making room for the new, transformation. It's been really fun to play with Safety Energy Lock 16 all week in preparation for this. I've just been having a good old-fashioned head cold, and because of that was all the more keenly aware of my breath. And so working with the transformation, watching how my body, how my awareness changed, was really obvious breath by breath. So, boy, I'm thankful. Let's see how I start these slides. All righty, here we have Self-Help Book 2. So, and I think you can see me in the corner. So this is a lovely demonstration. Ankle bone, heel, that little divot on the outside of the ankle is Safety Energy Lock 16. I always feel like it's been waiting for my hand. It's just a little spot right there, waiting for your fingers. So, but not everybody wants to sit around holding their feet. So, of course, Mary gives us many other ways to harmonize and we will play with some of those. I love that she tells us here on the side that, you know, when we study the essence of the numbers, we know what they do. And when we let go of the attitudes, we move forward. So safety energy lock 16, for some of you who have been with the work a little while, you're going to see that it relates to the third depth, letting go of anger and frustration. What a lovely thing to transform. I loved this little quote here. Transformation isn't a future event. It is a present day activity. So we're going to start with some of the self-help that Mary gives us on this page. And then the next, and I'm going to bring it back to the big screen. So I'm just going to show you both of these pages. More quickies. The thumb and leg over opposite knee. And then our good old buddy, 11 and 25. And again, when I was thinking about transformation, I loved Charles Darwin's take on it all. He's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. So I think it's marvelous if we can be that adaptable. The first quickie that Mary suggests, your right hand holding your left thumb. And this one she describes in the book, but she doesn't have a picture. So let's see if I can make it so you can see it. Left leg coming over your right knee and the back outside, like safety energy lock 8 of your left leg on that kneecap, opening up this pathway of energy right down to the 16. So let's come back and share our first cycle of 9 breaths, holding our left thumb, left knee over the right kneecap. And let yourselves arrive. You don't need to manipulate or change your breath. Just be with it. And on your next exhale, let your awareness follow that breath down the front of the body, letting go. And when you're ready, up the back of the body, up the spine, back of the neck, inhaling, receiving from the abundance, over the head, and let it descend and let go. A never-ending cycle. And as you bring your awareness to that cycle, here's a fun idea. Enjoy it. All it takes is a little stuffy head to make you realize just how overlooked the breath can be. Our first cycle of 9 breath connects us to the 8th depth, to the dot, to the universal mind, to Creator, to God, if those words are comfortable. Now let's switch to our second group of 9 breaths. We're going to take left hand, hold right thumb, right leg over left kneecap. And again, enjoy this cycle. Of course, there isn't a beginning or an end to our breath. But in Jin Shin Jyutsu, we focus with our awareness at the letting go, the exhale down the front. Simply because until we let go, there is no room for receiving. It is in that cycle of exhale, let go, inhale, receive, that transformation is really possible. And the second set of 9 breaths connects us to the 7th depth, the sun. We're coming right up on that winter solstice. So every blessed minute of sun during the day is all the more sacred. And now our third set of 9 breaths. Right hand over left shoulder. Mary says, like hung over the shoulder, like holding a heavy winter coat. Left hand slides right under the left buttocks, palm up or palm down, whatever's comfier for your hand. So we're on Safety Energy Lock 11, letting go of excess baggage. Safety Energy Lock 25 at the buttocks. Gently and calmly regenerate and rejuvenate. 2 and 5 equals a 7. 1 and 6 equals a 7. So both of these safety energy locks have a relationship to victory, to the inhale of another breath, where we can transform. The third set of 9 breaths connects us to the 6th depth, our personal aspect of divinity, that that divine spark within us, that which connects us to all that is at an energetic level. And now our fourth set, we simply switch sides, left hand over right 11, right hand under right buttocks, palm up or palm down. This fourth set connects us to the third depth, that bridge from the energetic world into the manifested body, where we find that safety energy lock 16. 16 is the first of the safety energy locks that we meet there in the third depth. I tend to go through my 36 breaths at least once a day. And part of what I like to do with them is say them as 36 breaths of gratitude. You might find it fun to play with that and think about the transformations you've experienced and the gratitude that you've had for them. And then come on back when you finish that set of 9. See how you're feeling. Are you more present? Are you open to change? That's how it starts. So I'm going to jump back to the slides. And here's some of the heavy hitters that we think about with Safety Energy Lock 16. Well, I'm going to give you another little quickie that I love while we talk about this page. I kind of cross my legs cowboy style. I can get in there, hold my 16 with the opposite hand, and hold the 1 at the same time. Feels really relaxing to me, and I love to be with that 5-16 combination. So we see up here where it says painkiller. When held with the Safety Energy Lock 5, it acts as a natural body aspirin and an anti-inflammatory. Safety Energy Lock 16 is a big help for elimination projects. Safety Energy Lock 16 also harmonizes reproductive functions and relieves head and neck congestion. I often focus on the opposite 16 from the side of neck or head pain, as well as jaw. 16 is fabulous for TMJ. So then I want to tell you about some of the ways and who I love to share Safety Energy Lock 16 in. My absolute passion for this work is not only with humans, but also with the animal kingdom. And so it was a learning curve to figure out things like, where is the ankle on a horse? And again, you know, you find that little divot. You find the body has been waiting for your fingers. So we're going to hop on back here, and I'm going to share some Safety Energy Lock 16s with my fellow here. This is Shirako. Here's the book that I wrote about sharing the work with the animals. And we talk specifically about the 16 here on a page where we're combining it with the 5 and the 8. And I'll show you that. Really clearing out that pathway. Fabulous for arthritis, congestion, degenerative disc, all those old age things that we see with the animals. So I'm going to hop back here and see if we can get Shirako to face another way so you can see his feet. Come here, baby. Come here. Oh, my little boy. Okay. Talk about transformation. My fancy dog bed coffee table allows me to turn the dogs around while we're working. So almost always I sink in to Safety Energy Lock 13 and 10 just to say hello and tell them that we're going to share some Jin Shin Jyutsu together. Now these guys are pretty used to it. It doesn't take them long to settle. I always want to center myself first, particularly if something's going on with my animal. I need to be coming from that calm and centered place. And once I put my hands on the body, I attempt to keep my hands on as much as possible. Okay, let's see. He's a very black dog. Can you see this little spot? I'm bending his leg way up. You might think it's further down, but the animals, their ankle is quite far up when he's walking. That ankle is way up here, several inches above the foot, like it showed on the horse. With the animals, I use a very gentle touch. I'm not digging. The sentence I always think about is that I want to be with this being in this gentle and loving art. Not all animals are going to let you start holding their hind feet. So take your time, center yourself, spend some time with 10 and 13, and then gently move down the body. It's a cumulative art. The more you share it with your animals, just on an every day of the week, normal, wonderful day, then if something does come up, they're going to let you work on them. So I wanted to demonstrate that little page from my book. One of the things Mary tells us is that Safety Energy Lock 5 works the most when it's held with the right hand. And I'm going to use 5 on the 16 outside of the ankle and 5 on the inside of the ankle. Natural anti-inflammatory, natural pain reliever. Then my left hand, let's see what happens if we turn him again sideways. Can you see his leg any better? How we're going to do this, sweet boy. Your little feet aren't showing. Here we go. 5 and 16 in the ankle with the right hand. Left hand, back of the knee. Safety Energy Lock 8. And again, I focus on my breath as his breath softens. I have an idea. I'm going to move the camera. Bear with me. Oh, yeah. Good boy. There we go. 5-16 with the right hand. 8 with the left. And then ever so slowly, I clear that pathway from the 8 down to the 5 and 16. Now, if you're working on a chihuahua, you're not going to have anywhere to move. Your hands are going to be touching. But that's okay. You just can feel that little pathway open up. This relates back to the very first self-help Mary gave us about putting your leg over the other knee and feeling that pathway open from the 8 to the 15, to the 16. And you clear down until your hands are touching. Letting go of, oh, good boy. That's a transformation. You know, arthritis is something we often see with the older dogs, or degenerative discs or hip dysplasia. This is my go-to place for that. A little bit every day. If I wanted to do it on the other leg, I would still use my right hand on 5-16, my left hand on the 8, clearing this pathway. You'll fall in love with those little pulses as they come up under your fingertips. It's like a whole new, deeper way to know your animal companion. Good boy. Thank you. Gonna hop back to the slides. Oh, I like this quote. When she transformed into a butterfly, the caterpillars spoke not of her beauty, but of her weirdness. They wanted her to change back into what she always had been. But she had wings. Oh yes, we all have the potential. So if you're interested in learning more about sharing the work with your animals, I have a couple new series of online classes that will begin in January. 5-week classes once a week, an intro class, and a going deeper class. And you can find information about it on my website, or you can email me, very exotic, Adele, jsjpets@gmail.com. And we'd love to have you come join us. It really is fun. So, in closing, those of you who have been with me before know I have a bit of an addiction to poetry. So, one of my favorite books, Love Poems by God, by Daniel Ladinsky. And on page 161, it's called How Did the Rose ever open its heart and give to the world all of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we all remain too frightened. And for me, I thought, boy, let us all transform in just that way. So my wish for you is that you deeply feel the presence of light against your being. Thank you, Terry.
Oh, thank you. Did you say Kandinsky, the author, or was that?
Well, he's the translator, the compiler.
Translator, is that Hafez?
Yeah. It's Hafez.
Yeah, Hafez.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, beautiful. So, thank you everybody for sharing today's Harmonize to Energize, and thank you so much, Adele. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And number 16, breaking down the old, bringing in the new. I'm looking forward to Adele joining us again at some time in the not too distant future, and perhaps other instructors too, so that we can continue this frequency of transformation, which third depth begins with safety energy lock at 16. So join us again next Friday. And then there'll be a break for Christmas, because actually Christmas Day is the Friday. And then we'll carry on again into the new year. So be safe. Continue to do your Jin Shin Jyutsu and your 36 breaths if you're so inclined. Remember, you can break that down into, here we go, breaking down again, into segments of 9. If it's a little too much to begin with, just do it gently. 9 one day, maybe 18 the next. Experiment. And just remember, you always have your breath. It's inescapable. And when you let it exhale, you're letting go of all that which you don't really need in that moment. That's one of the keys, I think. Sometimes we feel, oh no, I can't let go of that. Yes, you can in that moment. And if you still need it, it'll return. But in that moment, let it go. So thank you again, Adele. Thank you, everybody. Bless you all. And I'll be here next week, maybe with someone as well, or maybe by myself. Take care.